Hello, and na me chtlahpalos. Picking up from the last episode on words, this episode in the Nahuatl for Aztec Religion series will introduce three pronoun sets used for nouns and verbs. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to make simple sentences in the Nahuatl language. A quick disclaimer before we start. This is not the complete pronoun system in Nahuatl. Other sets, such as the imperative, reflexive, and independent pronoun sets, are subjects for later episodes in this series. Let's begin with three important tips for mastering the pronouns of Nahuatl. 1. The Nahuatl pronouns we will learn in this episode specify for both person and number. The person types are first, second, and third, and the numbers are singular and plural. 2. Gender, such as he, she, and it in English, is not part of the pronoun system and must be understood through context. And 3. Every Nahuatl subject pronoun wraps around a word base with both a prefix and a suffix. Linguists therefore call this a circumfix pattern if you want the technical term. The prefix marks for person and number, and the suffix marks for number alone. We will use tlahpalo, the word for person, to conjugate the person and number pronouns for subject cases. Ni tlahpalo, I am a person. Ti tlahpalo, you are a person. Tlahpalo, he or she is a person. That's right, there is no pronunciation for this pronoun, but that doesn't mean nothing is there. This is a null prefix because the position is still occupied and understood, but it has no sound. Linguists mark null components with a 0 to reflect this idea. Ti tlahpalo, we are people. An tlahpalo, you all are people. Tlahpalo, they are people. Notice how the singular forms end with the tl suffix and the plurals end with the glottal suffix. We will look further at singular and plural noun forms in the next episode. Like the subject cases of the last list, the genitive pronouns are also prefixes. Genitive pronouns mark possession, and they are a simple set. For this case, we will use the word for mother. Nonan, my mother. Monan, your mother. Inan, his or her mother. Tonan, our mother. Amonan, your mother. Inan, their mother. Bringing us back to Aztec religion, some of you may recognize the latter phrase as part of the goddess name Teoteo Inan, mother of the spirits. The genitive prefix often drops the o when it precedes a vowel, especially the a and e. These examples will use amoshli, book. Namosh, my book. Mamosh, your book. Iamosh, his or her book. Tamosh, our book. Amamosh, your book. Imamosh, their book. And to round out our lesson on pronouns for this episode, we should finally look at the object prefixes used for verbs. In the following cases, the subject is singular third person, so the prefix is null and therefore silent. This will allow us to focus on the object pronoun prefixes, which also mark for person and number. Nechnotza nonan, my mother is calling me. Mitznotza monan, your mother is calling you. Kinotza inan, his or her mother is calling him or her. Technotza tonan, our mother is calling us. Amechnotza amonan, your mother is calling you all. Kinotza inan, their mother is calling them. A final point worth noting is that the third person singular object, which in English would be him, her, or it, is basically the k prefix. Before another consonant, its pronunciation will depend on what precedes it. Remember from the episode on syllables that a consonant cluster cannot happen at the start or end of a syllable, so a vowel has to be present. In the first case, the e from the pronoun ni keeps the k at the end of the first syllable and the n at the onset of the next syllable. Niknotza in okichpili, I am calling the boy. In the second case, without a preceding vowel, the k has to be separated from the n, so the e vowel is inserted to separate these consonants into their own syllables. Kinotza in okichpili in inan. The boy's mother is calling him. If you find this a lot to process, I encourage you to practice forming basic sentences with the subject, genitive, and object pronoun sets we've covered in this episode. Upcoming episodes will also review these lessons. The next episode will make a few comments about noun suffixes. Join us for the following installment.